All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Central Valley Business. I'm Mike Scott. We're live around the world today on the internet, centralvalleytalk.com. Thank you for joining us. We have another busy show today, a full house of guests. We're going to begin with Judy Bauer, who's going to tell us about bricks for kids. You can see in front of the desk here, on the desk, all kinds of fun things.
All kinds of fun things.
You have classes for kids where you teach them how to build these things.
We do. So what we do is we go to schools after school hours. And we do classes for 20 students. So they sign up, they register for the classes. They come for a 6-week session of 1 hour, once a week classes. We have many different themes from space adventures, which they love, to air, land, and sea. So it has to do with the boats and airplanes and helicopters. We have nature's fury, and they learn about tsunamis and tornadoes and all kinds of science-related themes. And so they actually get a lesson in with this class, so they're actually learning something. They don't really realize it because we have a lot of fun doing it. And then once we've talked about that topic, we build a model. And of course, that's what they love the most. And while they're doing that, they also learn about engineering. They learn about how to be creative because we ask them to modify their build afterwards. But most importantly, they learn how to work together in collaboration. So
they don't build it by themselves?
No, they build it in pairs.
In pairs, okay.
In pairs. And for some students, we'll get parents who say, oh, my child is a genius, building Legos and whatnot. That's great. But they usually build them just by themselves in their bedroom, and they're working really hard. But this is the piece that sometimes is missing in our students, is that whole collaborative piece. And I just read an article, the top 10 things that employers are looking for. 8 of the 10 have to do with that collaboration piece. So we're really happy that our students are learning how to do that. And we get a lot of kids like on the spectrum. I own one of those students myself. So that's what attracted me to this. And they really get the opportunity to work with another person in a fun way. So it's not like they're sitting in school and they're having to write a paper, they're having to do a worksheet or whatnot. They're having fun doing it. So they don't even realize it's happening. And by that end of the 6 weeks, you've got a completely changed student at times.
I'm still trying to figure out how you convince kids to stay after school.
Oh, no.
I want them to be out that door.
We have wait lists for our class. Oh, yes. We just started.
Well, that says a lot about your classes.
We just started a new 6-week session this week. We are in 30 schools altogether, and what we do, we'll do like 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off, so we rotate the schools through. So we'll be at a school 2 to 3 times a year. Mm-hmm. And when we post those classes, there's sometimes within 24 hours the class is full.
Wow.
And
well, you limit the number, right?
We do, to 20. We keep it
okay.
small, so we have 10 pairs of students working at a time. Sometimes we'll push it to, we'll add 2 more students because we can't say no. Don't tell my husband that. But
there's so much demand.
Well, there is. And it's because really for those kids who are the creative, maybe they're not sports kids, they want something to do after school as well. And this is a great place for them to be. Okay. They really have a lot of fun.
Well, show us some of the things you brought today.
Okay, so I brought a few models that I'm going to show. And Mike, I'm going to have you do the spin art. We're going to see how artistic you are. So I've got the pins. All you do is really simple. You start in the middle, and you work your way out. Oh, that's a dud pin, huh?
Hate when
Got to
that
get a
happens.
different pin. But the kids love this. I take this to all the events that we do, and I'll have kids do 10 plates because they're just so fascinated by this.
So I can just add to that?
So you're just going to add to that. I'll start up a couple more of these models so you can see how those work. We have these 2 are part of our amusement park, so they get to learn about the rides and how the history of the rides, and they get to learn about the engineering behind it. So
and they build that from scratch.
They build it from scratch. Our kits, we don't sell them, but our kits will make over 200 different models, the same little kit. This is a franchise, and the gal who created this franchise about 7-8 years ago is an engineer, and she lives in Florida during the depression of the housing boom. Mm-hmm. She needed something to do, and she decided to start a summer camp. Her kids love Legos, so why not put her engineering background to work, and her camp filled up instantly. And somebody says, you know what, you've got something here. And she does. We now have over 500 franchises worldwide.
Wow.
Australia's booming. The Central Valley, we have myself, we have an owner in Reedley and an owner in Bakersfield, and that's it right now. Whereas, like, the East Coast is pretty full.
Well, I can see why. I mean, the
Yeah.
kids obviously would
Oh,
love
it's
this
fun.
stuff.
It's fun. Watch the little car go. Got Batman and Superman there. We can make him go backwards. Oh, he's stuck on something right there.
He is.
He's stuck
You
on
turn him
something.
around.
There we go. Oh, I think it's that hump right there on your table. Let me make him go the other way. There we go.
Okay, okay.
But we also do summer camps, and we have things like Minecraft and superheroes, and we had a real popular one this summer, animal grossology. So they learned all about the gross things that animals do, and they got to build the animals. It was it was probably our favorite camp of this summer.
Kids like gross stuff.
They do love gross stuff, and it's so funny because my daughter, she's 22, and she's one of our instructors. She's like, Mom, I don't think I can do that. She was about ready to gag, and we're like, suck it up. You can do this. The kids love it, and so will you.
All right, so you said you just started a 6-week run. So
Yes.
Now people have to wait 6 weeks to sign up for the next class? Or?
We will be posting the next session probably within the next week or two. What we do is we go and confirm all of our schedules with the schools that we're going to be at. So the first part of December, first part of January, we'll be starting a whole new set of classes. And once we get those posted, yeah, the parents will go online, they sign up for the class, and then they wait until that starts. But we also do what we call Kidz Night Out, and so if anybody would love to host a Kidz Night Out, we do give 10% of our proceeds back to the schools or to the person who is hosting us. We don't have a brick and mortar location.
Is it like a Tupperware party?
Okay. Tupperware for Legos, but we're not selling the Legos.
Oh, you're not selling
we're
the
not
Legos. You just go and
selling
have
the
a
Legos.
party somewhere for them.
We go and have a Kidz Night Out would be parents, you get to go out and do whatever you do when you go out and leave the kids with us for 3 or 4 hours. We have stations, we'll build with them, we'll make things that they can take home. They don't get to take home the models, but we do have some like little projects that they take home. We may even throw in the Lego movie if it's a really long 4-hour evening. We throw that in. We feed them pizza, do popcorn. We have a great time with the kids.
Now, what would a night like that cost?
We normally charge $10 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Per child?
Per child. And if you have multiple children, of course, we'd do a multiple child discount.
Well, you'd pay a babysitter that easily.
You would, absolutely. I wish I were making that when I was babysitting, but
No kidding.
you know.
All right, so you have a website or
We do. It's bricksforkids.com.
is it the number 4?
Number 4, and KIDZ.
KIDZ.
Right.
Bricks for Kids.
Kids.
Okay, and there they can find all the information about
They can find all
upcoming
the
classes
information.
and-
We do birthday parties, so we do that as well. About our camps, you can see the information from last year, which some of it will spill over into next year, but we get new themes every year. They're working on that right now at our corporate office, so we'll probably have 3 or 4 new camp themes coming up this year. I know one thing they're working on is Jurassic World, so that's coming up.
Kids love dinosaurs.
They love that, and we do have we have a Star Wars camp, and probably, gosh, I think we have about 15 different themes for camps. And as far as the after-school programs, we have right now probably about 25 to 30 themes. I could literally go back to back to back to back classes at a school for over 3 years and not repeat a theme. And actually at Fugman Elementary, we are doing that right now. So there's such a demand that we're just back to back to back to back at that school.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I bet you book up the classes now.
We just started, like I said, we just started this 6-week session. All the classes except for a couple are filled. So the robotics classes are brand new. If there's anybody who is out there who's involved with First Lego League, which I am, I help run the tournaments here in town, have done that for about 7 years. That's kind of what jumped me into this. I have that background, and I love watching the kids do that. But we have just started doing the robotics classes at Clovis North and Buchanan High School. Those robotics teams, the high school robotics teams, are helping us with that, and we're, again, helping them with their fundraising. So those kids would love to have your kids come out there. They love to work with the students. We have about 4 spots, I think, still available for tomorrow's class at Clovis North, and I think we have 5 spots available for next week's class at Buchanan. So, and any student from anywhere can go to those classes.
Okay. Is there a phone number?
Yes, area code 559, of course, 285-1725.
Got it. Judy Bauer, Bricks for Kids. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
in today.
Appreciate it.
And we will be back with more on Central Valley Talk.